Yo, what's up, you guys? It is Monday, March 9th, and we're back with another TnS Daily review. So jumping right into things here, I do have my indicator set on the 1 minute preset, display all setups and session filter disabled. My mouse here on the 929 candle. So let me get rid of some of this. But you can see we had a couple of pre-market setups, some that won, or pretty much all that won. And then we have 929 here. So remember, we're disregarding all of these setups because they already played out. And we have a pretty much a long setup here that gets tagged in. The first entry gets stopped, the second entry gets stopped. So it's going to be trade number 1 as a loss. Okay. Now moving on. We had a long setup there that actually ended up getting a TP. So let's see from 8 points. Looks like 50. So it's going to be a trade number 2 as a win for 50 points. And then we have basically looks like 2 long setups here, and they both end up getting stopped out. This first one gets stopped immediately, second one also gets stopped immediately. So it's going to be trades 3 and 4 as both losses. Okay, now moving on. Looks like we had a long setup here get stopped out pretty much to the absolute tick, and then just ends up working. So it's going to be trade number 5 as a loss as well. Then we have the short up here also get stopped out because the long ended up just going back to the original TP, and that's also going to be trade number 6 as a loss. Okay, then we go a little bit without a setup getting tagged in, but we do have a long down there if we come back for it. Then this little long setup here ended up getting TP. It's going to be trade number 7 as a win for 13 points. And moving on, looks like, pause it right there. So we actually had a short setup here get tagged in. It's going to be trade number 8 as a win for 60 points. And then there was a long setup here. Now, truly, of course, you would be in the short here for taking trades mechanically because this one got tagged in first, and then the long. But you really be in the short here getting TP, and the long also gets stopped out. So it's going to be trade number 9 as a loss. Okay, now moving on. Looks like we go a little bit again without a setup. Okay, now we have a long here that gets TP. It's going to be for 11 points. So backing up again so we can see it. It's going to be trade number 10 as a win for 11 points. Okay, now moving on. Looks like we go a while without a setup again. And we have this short here gets stopped out. It's going to be trade number 11 as a loss. Then we have a short up here that was waiting to get tagged in. That also got stopped out. It's going to be trade number 12 as a loss. And then we have 2 long steps here that I don't think ever get tagged in. But we had a long up here that gets tagged in and gets TP. That's going to be trade number 13 as a win for 41 points. And it's still 328, so you can see we still have a little bit of time left. It looks like we had a short there. So if I back up to about right here and take off the historical mode for a second, you can see we actually had a short here. And the short does get tagged in first. So, of course, you'd be in the short here first, and it does get TP. So it's going to be trade number 17 as... Oh, sorry. I meant trade number 14 as a win for 61 points. And then this long setup here, I'm not sure what happens, but yeah, it gets stopped out. So backing up to about right here again, and I'm going to turn back on historical mode. You can see we had a long here, and the long does get stopped out, so it's going to be trade number 15 as a loss. Okay, that pretty much leads us right into 4 o'clock here. I don't think we had another setup. Well, actually, we did have a setup, and it gets CP right at 4 p.m., so actually it will be counted. So we had a long setup here get tagged in right at 3:59 and get TP right at 4 p.m. A very rare case here. But since it gets tagged in right 1 minute before 4 o'clock and gets CP right at 4, it will be counted. So it's going to be trade number 16 as a win for 22 points. Right off the end there, you can see that's the 4 p.m. candle. It does get TP right at 4 p.m. And that also means that trade number 16 is going to be our last one. So let's go ahead and tally it all up and get our final results. All right, so these would be our final results for the 1 minute TnS. And today I walked away with 1.3 R, 33 points, and that's with 7 wins and 9 losses today. So pretty much a light green day for the 1 minute TnS. I did go on a pretty nasty losing streak here in the beginning of the day. But it did have a couple of decent sized wins to make up for it. Yeah, guys, gonna wrap it up for this daily review. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.